Well, hello, peace, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to your soft power formation guidance for Culture Shift Hers Unite. My name is Ber-Henda Williams, and I'm a soft power formation guide. I'm a cultural strategist and media producer, and you are here because you have chosen to join me on this Wednesday odyssey of really unpacking empathic feminine leadership. What does that look like? What does that feel like? And more to the point, what does it achieve? And we're looking at reframing and reimagining what success and purpose and scale look like in our emerging world. Because I believe for many of us, we have witnessed a world change, especially since 2020. The pandemic, for many people, illuminated things that have been impacting communities of color, marginalized communities for centuries. And it has summoned all of us into not doing more, but becoming more contemplative, becoming more self aware, and tuning inward for a different view outward. And one of the principles that we're moving through this month, and particularly the month of February, is Sabbath Economics, but more deeply, money as oracle. Now, money means a lot of different things to different people, and money can bring up a lot of wounds and anxiety, and for good reason. But we're going to gently today move through it through this framework that when we think about our legacy, it requires funding and not just sentiment. So there's nothing wrong with growth. I just want to name that. Growing, it's an inevitable part of life. And there's nothing wrong with expansion, again, another part of life. But scale answers to speed. And speed is a byproduct of white supremacist delusion. What we want to reframe and move into is a practice of stewardship. And stewardship answers responsibility, whereas scale talks about speed. Those are not the same questions, and those are not the same posture. So, context. We're living in a time where vision is constantly celebrated. We love vision, right? Steve Jobs, visionary. Uh, you know, the Ford, automobile, genius, vision, visionary. Again, nothing wrong with it. Yours truly is a Trekkie, boldly going where no human has gone before. Love it, right? However, without paying attention to infrastructure, we are doomed for collapse. Where we praise the dream and we do not fund the dream, this is how dreams become not only deferred, but they actually die. And that's not leadership. When we don't fund a dream, we like it, we praise it, that's sentiment. So the story that we're going to look at, and it's not a story, this is historical. The framework that we're going to look through today, which I think is a really powerful one, is the relationship between Mary McLeod Bethune and Madam C.J. Walker. So we know Madam C.J. Walker as the first Black woman millionaire. We know that Mary McLeod Bethune is a master teacher, educator, founder of the Bethune-Cookman College, which is a historically Black college and university. But what I'm talking about here is sisterhood and friendship. So Mary McLeod Bethune had a vision. She believed in education for Black students in a country that did not believe in them, did not even see them as human. And vision alone did not build a school. It was Madam C.J. Walker that supported her friend. Entrepreneur, philanthropist, architect of Black wealth, who helped fund that vision. Walker didn't just build an empire, she built a legacy. She invested in this institution. And because she did, the vision, the vision lives. It's a testimony. And that, good humans, is a beautiful example of soft power economics. So when we think about legacy, legacy is never built on inspiration alone. Legacies require funding. If we do not fund what we love, we lose it. Not because it wasn't powerful, not because it wasn't anointed, and not because it wasn't necessary. It was because it was never resourced. And what does that application look like in our leadership? So this is the leadership question that I want to leave you with. What are you funding? Not what you say you value. Not what you post about. Not what you applaud. What are you resourcing with your money, your time, your platform, your partnerships? Because that is what you're choosing to keep alive. Energy goes where energy grows. Well, same principle applies when it comes to money. Whatever we invest in with our dollars also grows. And this is not an indictment. This is not to shame anyone. But look at your bank account. Look at your bank statements. Where has your money gone? And I'm not talking about returning it back into the business and investing in your business, investing in the organization to which you lead. No, we all have business expenses and things and costs that we incur, for sure. But what I'm talking about is when you see the plea and call for a free and liberated Palestine, Sudan, and Congo, when we talk about eradicating hate toward any group of people, do you just simply repost it, the sentiment, or are you actually giving to it? And that, my friends, are two totally different actions and postures. So as I close today, I want to say this is why my work is formation, because we cannot build a legacy from a fragmented internal environment. Stewardship is an internal posture before it becomes an external structure. And coherence precedes capacity. And Sabbath Economics teaches us rest is not reward, care is not an afterthought, funding is not separate from spirituality. It's how we protect what God has entrusted to us. Legacy requires funding. And what we refuse to fund, we should stop pretending that we want to survive. I'm Ber-Henda Williams, and this is Soft Power Leadership. And before we close, I'd like to leave with this. If anything that I said here moved you in any way, sparked some curiosity, interest, reflection, maybe a little bit of a rub, lean forward into it. I have the Aligned Year, which is a formation chamber. I have 4 spots available for Culture Shift Hers, for Feminine Empathic Leadership for an Emerging World. And if you believe in these principles that I shared here, perhaps this is just the program for you, because what happens is it's constellating. It's not solely a container that generates one-sided revenue. With your investment, you get 4 intuitive readings a year. You also get the support of seasonal planning. You'll also receive 6 months of visibility through talk show, newsletter, and my podcast. And not only that then helps to support the team that has been assembled to help produce the podcast and the talk show. You're supporting directly Black women. From top to bottom, everyone on the production team is a Black woman. We also have Damon, our fearless male energy that supports his daughter, who is part of our production team, who is a sophomore at Wayne State University, majoring in broadcast journalism. We also film in the space owned by woman-owned. The leadership team also feminine. So I just want to name that in this investment, it takes us from the single to the communal. And we would love to have nonprofits, solve all the issues of the world, but that is impossible. But what is possible is if we reallocate our dollars, our funding, and our resources to amplify the lives of those who are closest to the margins. And so this also helps amplify and support conversations that bring us closer together. That helps us to face forward in our own healing and unfoldment. So with that, I thank you so much for tuning into this week's teaching. And again, if anything here has touched you in any way, please share this with a friend. Please join us on Substack. And I will see you again next week for another Soft Power teaching. All right, my name is Ber-Henda Williams. I'm a media producer, cultural strategist, and Soft Power Formation Guide. See you all soon.